Okay, well, hi everyone. I just would like to introduce myself to you. My name is Dr. Anne-Marie Neale, and I have been on the faculty here at the Graduate Theological Foundation until around September of 2011. I am now the Karen Horney Professor of Counseling and Psychology, and I'm actually very honored to hold that title, as she was one of the first psychoanalytic women, to actually look at the gender differences as a major issue in personality development. But I'll talk a little bit more about that later when I talk about my e-courses. I have a RN degree from a diploma school of nursing, and so my first career was as a registered nurse, and as such I have background in nursing. So if any of you are in the nursing profession and would like to work with someone who has nursing background, I have worked in psychiatric nursing, cardiopulmonary step-down units. I have been an orthopedic nurse. I know all about the difficulties of working with people with chronic pain as a result of that. I actually was even an operating room nurse years ago. So although my biggest love and my greatest love in nursing was psychiatric nursing, which is how I ended up in a graduate program in clinical psychology. I went back to school when my children were in second and third grade, and so they could never say they had too much homework because I was usually working all night on a paper myself. And I ended up getting an associate's degree in liberal arts from a community college, and then I ended up getting my bachelor's degree in psychology and English. I actually had a double major and for a while thought about going to graduate school in literature. I happen to think the first fabulous psychologist was William Shakespeare. So if you're at all interested in anything Shakespearean, I'm your gal. But I decided to pursue my original love, and I ended up in the graduate program in clinical psychology at Michigan State University. I received my master's in psychology and then my PhD in clinical psychology. At the time, I was very interested in health psychology. Obviously, my nursing background and that were very compatible. But over the years, I've actually found out that my biggest love is teaching and academics. And that happened almost by accident when I was offered a teaching assistantship position at the college and started to be a TA for other professors, and then was asked to teach my own courses. And I used to laugh and say that when I applied for teaching positions at small colleges, that because I used to teach intro to psych for my class size was 600 students in one class. And I ended up working at a college that only had 1,200 students, Simpson College. I told the admissions committee that they could all go on sabbatical because I could teach the whole school. But I've really loved teaching smaller classes, and that was my love. So although I certainly knew how to teach 600 in one class, I much preferred the smaller class environment. In fact, I remember a student, as I was walking down the aisle in the middle of the semester, saying to the person next to him, "Oh, that's what she looks like," because I was just a dot up there somewhere. I even had a waitress at a restaurant across the street from Michigan State say to me, "Do you teach intro to psychology?" And I said, "Yes, I do." She said, "I thought I recognized you by your voice." So that was my message. I don't want to just be a voice or someone recognizes halfway into the semester. So I began to teach, and I've actually been chair of a psychology department at this small liberal arts college. I have done private practice. I've also been a mental health specialist with the Red Cross. And that actually happened because I happened to be living in Iowa during a very severe Midwest floods in the 1990s. And that's when the Red Cross actually started their own mental health division, because they had been so overwhelmed during Hurricane Andrew that when the next major disaster happened, Red Cross was already starting a mental health component. And so one of my e-tutorials, which is on disaster mental health, is really because of my love of the importance of disaster mental health, and not just disasters, but like natural disasters, but also some of the things that, sad to say, we are facing every day in our society: school terrorism, school shootings, all kinds of terrorist attacks that we're not expecting, people who are victims of war. as well as natural and technological disasters. I think from November until June, I could just list from Hurricane Sandy on all of the many things that as a country, just in the United States, let alone other countries, we've been facing. So that's a very big interest of mine. And then I became interested in Viktor Frankl's logotherapy in 2004, which is another story for another time, but suffice it to say that I now have my diplomate in logotherapy, and I teach for the Viktor Frankl Institute. I teach their coursework. I am their education coordinator, and I also supervise their diplomate projects. And it's just an honor to do that. And now, of course, I've been on this faculty for the last 2 years, and I do plan on offering a course in which logotherapy and 12-step recovery programs are looked at as two very compatible ways of being in the world and being spiritually fit, if you will. So I'm excited about that new e-tutorial. I am the mother of 2 beautiful grown daughters, and I have 2 granddaughters and expecting a grandson. My husband and I, between us, have many grandchildren, but only just recently 2 grandsons, so we're both very excited about that. I live in Florida, but I love to travel, and I look forward to being on campus here frequently.